Smart automation, better business. Learn how to optimize your business with Solved.
Hey everyone, my name is McKay Kimball and I'm a Salesforce consultant here at Solved. In this video, I'm going to be talking about record types, specifically how to set them up the right way and what not to forget to ensure that everything runs smoothly. Record types can be a widely misused feature within Salesforce. It's not uncommon to see orgs with 5 record types that have no need for that many, and there's also many examples where adding one new record type could be a huge benefit to a Salesforce org. Now, it is important to understand when to use a record type and when not to use a record type. An example I'm going to use throughout this video is opportunities, specifically new business opportunities versus renewal opportunities. If, for example, Salesforce org uses a completely different business and sales process for these two separate opportunities, then it's necessary that they would use a record type. If, for example, you have different page layouts for these different opportunities, that would be another reason you'd want to use record types. Maybe you don't need as much information on your renewal records that are displaying on your new business records. And also, if you have additional fields that need to be shown, for example, in a renewal date on the renewal opportunity, this is where it's perfect to use a record type and have significantly different page layouts for each record type. And then we also have picklist values. You can have one field on the opportunity object and show completely different values on one record type and other values on your renewal record type. This would allow for, again, a good example of when it's necessary or when it could be needed to use a record type. But when not to use a record type, you don't need to use a record type if a simple pick list would work. If they follow the same process, you can just categorize them. And then also don't use them to control visibility. Record types control who can create, but not who can see. That's sharing rules. And don't use them for minor differences. One extra field isn't worth the maintenance overhead and the pain of migrating records between types. Again, it goes back to the page layouts. If they're significantly different, you probably need record types. So once you've come to the conclusion that you do in fact need record types or different record types for objects within your org, we can come here to setup. Now, again, for this example, we're going to use the new business opportunities versus renewal opportunities situation. So the first thing we're going to want to do is come to setup, search for our sales processes within the feature settings, and you'll notice we already have the new business sales process set up and configured. We want to create a new one off of new business and call this renewal. And on this page, you'll see all the selected values that we follow for our new business opportunities. Now, for our renewals, so we've decided, and a lot of the reason we want to create this additional record type is we don't do prospecting and we don't do qualification on these renewals. Those were handled within the new business opportunities. We don't need to do those for renewals, and we go ahead and save that. Just like that, you have a new sales process that is set up for your separate record type. After that, the next step we're going to want to follow is coming and going to the page layouts. We need to create a new page layout for this renewal record type. So we're going to select new. We're going to do this off of the sales layout and follow our same naming convention that you see here. And we're going to save that. Now it's going to redirect us directly to this layout, and we need to see renewal date on these renewal record types. And for new business, we've decided we don't need to see the renewal date there. We just want to see it here on the renewal record types. And for the sake of simplicity and time, that's the only change I'm going to make to the layout. But this is really where you can get creative. And a lot of the reason that many of you might be creating additional record types is to have vastly different page layouts. This is where you can go crazy. You can change up the sections. You can change up the fields, the locations of each field, the actual fields that are being displayed on the records. This is where all those changes that can be made. But we're going to go ahead and leave that for now and save this. And now it's time we can finally come in and create the record type itself. You'll notice again our new business record type. We want to create a new one. We're going to do that off of the new business one still. Label it renewal. And again, that's why we did sales process first. This is a required field. We need to select renewal. And from there, we can go ahead and activate this record type, and we can make it available for all these profiles. If you want, you can make it the default for some of your profiles if that is a needed configuration. We can go ahead and select next. And just like that, we can come in and create or select our opportunity renewal layout that we configured and apply it to all the profiles for this record type. And if you want to apply a different layout for each profile, that can also be set up here too. But we're going to go ahead and save that. And just like that, simple, again, pretty simple process that we followed here. But again, setting up the record type is very simple when you follow this step-by-step process, and you can create all the configurations, all the changes that need to be done within those page layouts within your sales process. And another option here is you have pick lists that are available for editing. We can come and go to the type, and for our new business opportunities, we handle new customer and also upgrades, replacements, downgrades. But for our renewal record types, obviously we're going to only need our renewal type value, and we can go ahead and save that. And again, that's another area that can be configured to the max. If there's many different pick lists that you have that apply to different record types, this is where you can come in and get that all configured. Another aspect that we're not going to go in depth on this video is for the path settings. For path settings, you can come in and have different fields and content appear for your users as they're going through each step in the process, and it can be extremely beneficial. We would highly recommend setting up path settings as well as you configure your record types. Now, after you've done all that, there's a few important things to remember. First, validation rules. Your existing rules might block the new record type when they shouldn't. Make sure you go through your validation rules and make any adjustments needed to have it configured properly. Next is flows and automations. If you don't add a record type filter, the automation that you might have built for your new business opportunities is suddenly firing on renewals too. Make sure you go through and make any adjustments to flows and automations to capture the record types that should be captured within those automations. Next, we have email templates. If they reference fields that don't exist on the new layout, you're going to get blanks or errors. Make sure to create record type specific templates for some of these email automations. Lastly, reports. Your pipeline report will suddenly include renewals unless you add a record type filter. Make sure that you adjust any reports as necessary to have them capturing the information that you want to see based on record type. The bottom line is to audit every validation rule, every flow, every template, and every report on that object before you go live. Now, as promised, this was a very simple walkthrough of how to set up a record type the right way. Remember to build in the correct order: business process, page layout, record type, and then don't forget to audit your validation rules, flows, email templates, and reports before you go live. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button. And if you're dealing with a messy org that needs some cleanup, head over to solved.cloud and book a free consultation with our team. I'm McKay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much for watching. We can't wait to help you automate your business. Please like, comment, or subscribe for more.